Hello. Yes, I started testing earning weapon XP in the beta, because that's just what I do. I only wanted to check the rough XP per kill to get a feel, but that turned out not simple at all, to the surprise of nobody. So, dug a little deeper, nothing too crazy. If you're not as into the weapon XP mystery as me, it can get pretty dry, fair warning. The timestamps might help you find what you want to know. And if you're thinking this is a stupid waste of time in the beta, yeah, I know it's all subject to change in the full game, and I'll be retesting things, but I also think most of what I was able to learn is how it's going to be, and it's worth having a better understanding of how to earn weapon XP for launch. Plus, I'm all about progression, so figuring this out could be part of my feedback on the beta. Gonna start off with what they said about weapon XP in their beta guide blog post, which simply says you get weapon XP by earning eliminations or doing certain actions like objective plays while using a weapon. Interesting, we'll see about that. First thing I'll go through are the results of a few single kill tests, which is just me going into a game and getting one kill with a gun, then swapping to the next one for another single kill, which is nice to do when all my weapons are starting at the clean 0 XP. Yeah, I do want to thank them for going back to displaying the weapon XP number, since this is going back to a Modern Warfare style menu, I guess, but definitely saving my sanity compared to measuring the Cold War bars or swapping to Warzone. Sadly though, sanity's back out the window, because once again, there's a wide range of variance in how much weapon XP I was getting per kill that I could not explain or attribute to any obvious factor, similar to the past couple years, but I think even messier this time. I'll organize the kills by a few different things I was tracking to show what I mean. First, by match type, this is just how I played the games. These are all individual kills with different weapons, where the amount of weapon XP was pretty wildly different each time. No clear pattern here on getting more or less XP based on the combat pacing options or the game mode. I got low rolled in the Dom game there, but this tiny sample was really not meant to compare the game modes, more just establish a baseline of what a kill can be worth. I'll get to the bigger averages in a sec to redeem domination. For Search and Destroy there though, again only 2 kills, but it looked like no clear bonus to make up for it being a non-respawn mode. Kind of a bummer if you love S&D. If I recall, it did get a boost in the past couple games, but I guess in this game, if they're trying to balance XP around how many engagements you get into, then they'd have to nerf blitz pacing compared to tactical, so alright. Also again, I could have just got low rolled there like the Dom game, and maybe it is a bit more on average per kill in S&D. I did not do extensive S&D testing. I could do more for the full game, but if it's in the same ballpark like that, just seeing more 190s per kill and not clearly more, like 500, I don't think it's enough of a difference to care about. Now I'm going to reorganize these numbers based on the type of elimination it was, because some of these were a simple, clean kill, and some were the assist type of elimination, where I hit an enemy and a teammate finished the kill. Also, sometimes I'd hit the enemy and die, and get the elimination credit while respawning. That's totally fine, no difference. And, well, the eliminations did seem more consistently in the middle, while the kills varied more wildly. I just have no idea what factors go into that, because there was never any clear reason for why a kill would be that high or that low. Why is my first ever STG kill here worth 397 weapon XP? What was special there? You tell me. While this, my first ever kill with the Garand, while capturing a flag, was worth 113. I can reorganize again by what weapon I was using to get the kill, but I think no need to even look at that, no info to get from it. Got a little lucky with the STG, but the weapon didn't matter. If there were any correlation between a factor and weapon XP, you'd think it would be here. This is sorted by the score that popped up on screen when I got the kill. So that includes things like getting a headshot, an Avenger, all those medals or accolades, as well as objective play, all those things that you'd think could have a chance at giving more weapon XP. And yeah, I can't say there's any meaningful pattern with this sample size. It is weird that all the big score numbers are responsible for all of the 190 weapon XPs. Then the 160 score gave some pretty weird numbers. The 145 and 135s gave tons of weapon XP, and those were completely unexceptional kills. There was truly nothing good about them. Then a couple 172s here at the bottom for the lowest score. So I've been through plenty of other theories to try to explain the variance, but that always leads to a dead end. You're all welcome to come up with an explanation, of course. I'd love to get to the bottom of the great XP mystery, but you have to fit all the examples, not just one or two. And I've never found any unified theory that can do that. As an aside on the score that's popping up though, I really don't understand what goes into that either. Sometimes I get a kill, and it's a point blank, savior, buzzkill, and that adds up to 160. Alright, fair enough. Then I'll get a simple elimination, not even a kill, and that's 250. Assists are twice as good as kills now, huh? But of course not. Here's an elimination for 125. But other times it can be 300, 375 for a single, nothing special elimination. It honestly does seem like, on average, an assist gives a bigger score pop-up than a kill, because kills are usually, but not always, in the 100 to 160 range based on the extra little modifiers like headshot, revenge, while assist eliminations often seem to be plus 200 or 300, whatever that means. Also saw weird stuff with objectives, like here picking up tags. Usually a deny is 25, a confirm is 75. Why was that deny 125? I don't see anything else that happened. Then right back to 25 after that. There was no triple tag cleanup there, or picking up your own tags, says retrieved and gives 250. I don't know, several times the score for things like that varied with no clear reason. I know score doesn't directly translate to XP, but in past games it has been used as a part of your XP. Well, I'm just pointing out that weapon XP is not the only number that varies strangely, but I'd say that mystery matters less to people. Back to the weapon XP. Let's move on to the big averages. Since single kills seem so meaningless and hard to read into, let's just get a good feel for how much weapon XP I'm earning per kill over a longer period of time. So I used nothing but the STG up to its max level, which was capped at 30 at the time in the beta. And here's that exciting chart, which we can sort by the average weapon XP per elimination. As expected, a decent range, but one that's less wide thanks to the magic of averaging. And still, no pattern when it comes to the different combat pacings, or TDM versus other game modes, getting more or fewer kills in a match. At least from this, we get a decent estimate. Over time, I was essentially earning 142 weapon XP per kill. Not bad, and pretty in line with the past. In Modern Warfare, I remember some random things I couldn't explain there too, but the numbers weren't as weird. I think I often got either 100 or sometimes 150 weapon XP for no apparent reason, with the occasional weird number mixed in. At least the weapon XP seemed to add up after every game pretty reliably. That was a huge problem with testing in the past, often needing to reboot to get the accurate XP number. I will say I noticed it twice, where I used the STG for one game, wrote down the XP number afterwards, and then played a game where I didn't touch the STG. 100% sure I didn't even pick one up, no STG usage, but it magically got an extra kill worth of XP after the game, like a 190 XP added on. In one case, I didn't even get any assist elims, so it isn't like my teammate was using the STG and I somehow got partial credit for his gun. So I don't know, it seems like there is still a small amount of XP catch-up going on. And if you ever feel like you're being scammed out of weapon XP, I have seen a couple people say that in this beta. Restart your game or play another game and it'll hopefully update. But I personally didn't see anything extreme. Anyway, if there doesn't seem to be anything we can do to affect weapon XP aside from get kills and go with the flow of whatever it's doing in the background, then how about going through some other things I tested that give nothing at all? For example, they mentioned doing certain actions like objective plays while using a weapon. So with a 0 XP weapon in my hand, I tried capturing several Dom flags, holding patrol zones, capturing patrol zones, confirming and denying tags, but all of those gave nothing at all. Unfortunate. I thought it was possible because they mentioned it, and also how you do get weapon ranks in Warzone for completing contracts, like a recon contract, that is like capturing a flag with the weapon in your hand. The technology is there to award XP when you're holding it. It shouldn't have to be a kill, but no luck there. Then I tried getting a regular kill versus a kill while on a flag, and these are the two weird low number Dom XP values of 124 XP off the flag and then 113 on the flag, so no real difference there, and they both sucked. So I don't know what they meant about objective plays with the weapon, unless it is just referring to Warzone contracts, but this blog was about the Vanguard beta. Maybe just ambiguous writing or something being worked on for launch. As far as other actions, I tried holding a weapon while getting grenade kills, that's a no of course, then surprisingly shooting down counter spy planes also gave nothing. Didn't even have any score come up. At first I thought someone might have stolen the destroy from me, but that's what it looked like every time. No score, no weapon XP. I guess because there are no launchers that I know of that are meant to be ranked up by shooting stuff down. That might be something they change though, because usually you get something for shooting a streak down. Finally, meleeing with the weapon in your hand does count, like always. So I came up a bit dry on extra things that count for weapon XP. It seems like just get kills, and don't try to look behind the curtain. Yeah, I really don't know why the numbers have to be so confusing. What do they mean? Keeping it simple, like 100 per kill, with some bonuses for a headshot or objective play, or increased in a mode like S&D, sounds good to me. Let us understand what we're earning. I know game development is complex as hell, and with something this huge, maintaining all the cross progression, but when it's this weird, I have to think either nobody cares about it being consistent, or it's an overly complicated system with randomness in it to try to obscure something. Like what? I think I've had the conspiracy jokes before, like it gives you less XP if you do too well to make you play longer, and more XP if you're doing poorly to keep you motivated with the faster levels. You see, my 2 highest kill games had the lowest average rate per kill. Yeah, except the rest of the chart doesn't fit. I am joking. As a final thing we can look at, since that 142 weapon XP per kill average does seem similar to Modern Warfare, although maybe a bit faster, we can then take a look at and compare the total XP required to max out guns in both games. Now in Modern Warfare, really only the ARs stuck out to the high level 60s and the M4 up in the 70s. In Vanguard, there are a lot of 70s, and even secondaries go into the 60s. You can check that out by scrolling through the future unlocks. Adding up all that XP, where thankfully they broke the every 10 level pattern with that big level 30 to 60 chunk, that shows us it'll take about 150k to max out a gun to 70, compared to Modern Warfare's 113k. If the earn rate is a bit faster, that might make up for that, but then that combined with just how many guns go to 70 in Vanguard, it is looking like quite a grind. That isn't an inherent problem to me personally. I mean, you're supposed to enjoy the journey, but I definitely see some weapon XP is way too slow comments coming in at launch. Just like Modern Warfare people felt was very slow at first, because remember, shoot house and shipment weren't a thing. And yeah, it can be annoying when important attachments or camo challenges are locked for a long time. I could be pleasantly surprised, but I assume camos will be working in a similar way again, and that is frustrating depending on what challenges are unlocked towards the end. Not being able to progress a hard challenge feels bad. I do kind of like the headshots and then a group of specialty challenges formula better. And also I think a faster weapon grind with weapon prestiging is a better solution, because that allows people who want the longer grind for the sake of the prestige to have the option, while the people who just want to get their attachments for Warzone don't have to hate the slog. Anyway, I'm not too worried, because there'll always be plenty of double weapon XP, there's blitz pacing, and there'll be zombies, which could be great for weapon XP again. We'll have to see. That's it for the mini delve into weapon XP in the beta. Again, this is all subject to change in the full game, but I think the core system will remain pretty much the same. So for me, it was not a waste of time to get an early look at what we're going to be dealing with, what gives XP, what doesn't. As I said, this is what I do. I'm back in my element. Feels good. Tracking my XP made playing the beta more entertaining. It gave me a purpose. I do like understanding what I'm earning so that I can maybe learn what I should be trying to do more of or avoiding. It'd be nice to know if I should be in a certain game mode or getting a headshot or if any objective stuff actually helps. It is nice to feel like you have some agency in leveling your weapons faster, like if going for a headshot worked, rather than just play and get seemingly random XP per kill. So it is a bummer that for a few years it's as if they've wanted to make it unclear. I would love a better breakdown of how XP is earned to at least feel like it's accurate. It seems like whatever's happening with this XP system is way more complicated than it needs to be. I don't see the downside of having it be simple and understandable, unless it's to mask whatever in the system is causing that weird XP delay thing. But I know as far as beta feedback goes, the gameplay is more integral, as well as people being able to play the game without absurd graphical issues. Xbox seems to be having it rough from what I can tell. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm fine with saying, alright, just play with the gun, and they seem to level up at a decent rate, however it's working. And while this breakdown didn't reveal any amazing strategies, it's good to know the basics, like that at least for now, nothing seems to matter. Combat pacing, game mode, objectives, headshots, whatever. Just get more eliminations. Play whatever you want to play with that in mind. So of course blitz and faster action will generally give that to you. When the full game's out, we can take another look, like maybe they'll add score to shooting down streaks, or maybe add something for objective play, since it was mentioned in that blog. Or ultimately, I may hardly care about MP weapon XP in the full game, because cross-progression zombies may once again turn out to be a better and more chill way to be flying through the weapon levels if it works similarly to Cold War, which it very well may with Treyarch continuing the zombies. If that's the case, I'll be very glad I got all this weird, confusing stuff out of the way, so at launch we can get right to the point comparing what matters, multiplayer versus zombies, averages, what's better, not get bogged down with all this nonsense that doesn't help anybody. But I feel I have to attempt to explain it at least once here, so I can refer back to it. The other option is just lie, pretend it's simple. Yeah, it's always 150 weapon XP per kill. Don't check though. So enough weapon XP for now, until we meet again. As for the rest of the beta, I'm sure I'll put together some overall thoughts in a couple days. Shouldn't be too long, don't need to repeat what I've already said in the previous couple Vanguard thoughts. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.